Hi, I'm Dennis Rodkin. I write the Deal Estate column in Chicago Magazine, and this is DEQs, where I answer readers' real estate questions. Nathaniel in River North asks, my parents are trying to sell the North Barrington house I grew up in. The home is nice, but the wooded stream view property it sits on is what's truly special about it. Despite updating the home with new central heat and air and a new roof, they're having difficulty selling it in this very saturated market. I thought I'd get your opinion on why it's not selling. I looked at your parents' listing, Nathaniel. It's a nice house and a very nice piece of land. Of course, you know that already. And the price looks good to me too. It's $769,000, down from their February asking price of $824,900. It's a nice price for 4,300 square feet and 5 bedrooms. The square footage could, however, be the issue. 4,300, not small, is small for what's been built in the Barringtons in the past decade. 7,000 or 8,000 feet is not unusual, and there are homes in the 10,000 square foot range. And recently, unfortunately, many of those have been available at deeply discounted prices, short sales, and foreclosure prices. The Barrington area was very slow to get hit by foreclosure, but then about 18 months ago, it started seeing it spike. Slowing down now, but there are still some mega houses on the market at very, very low prices. Buyers may be looking at those. They may not find too many in the same price range as yours in the foreclosure, but they look at them and think, well, if I can stretch to get that bigger one, I will. They get an enormous amount of additional square footage for not an enormous additional cost. Or if they're looking in your price range, they may expect it to be even lower because of the pressure foreclosures are exerting on price. Now, in most cases, the buyers of foreclosures and the other newer homes in the area are getting far less land, but that seems a little bit more in line with today's buyers. Kids don't play outside as much as you probably did. The maintenance of grounds is very expensive. So there's more emphasis placed on that interior square footage I'm going to get. And the outside land is kind of a peripheral attribute. Unfortunately, yours has some beautiful outdoor land, but may not have quite the pull. Also, inside, your parents have updated, but it's still a relatively modest kitchen compared to what's in the big new houses. It's a very workable kitchen. It's open to the family room. That's wonderful. But buyers see those big glittery kitchens in the new homes and they're seduced. So one thing you might do is trade out those relatively modest flat front cabinet doors that are there and put in newer ones, slightly more impressive cabinet doors to bring it up just a little bit. Another reason that houses linger on the market is reduced demand. There have been some headlines recently about spikes in demand and inventory shrinking, but keep in mind that that's measured against the very deep pit we were in. Demand is higher than it was, but it's nowhere near where it was in the boom years. And the inventory shortage hasn't been absolutely everywhere. It's only in certain areas. Many of them are urban or near-in suburbs. Your parents' house is not the only one in the farther out suburbs that I've seen sit for quite a while on the market. You may be suffering from what I'm going to call disjointed demand. Where the buyers want to buy right now isn't necessarily where your house is, so you're not benefiting from the recent easing we've been seeing. Aside from those two competitive pressures, foreclosure and location, I can't see the problem with the property, which leads to price. It looks good to me, but if the house hasn't sold, that means the price is not looking good to buyers. Have you looked very closely at the comparable sales? Have prices maybe dropped farther than you and your parents are willing to admit? They've owned it a very long time, so they're not in the position, they're not the type of buyer who clings to a boom era number because it's what they've got to get back, but they may be clinging to an inflated view of the value and may need to really look at price. Thanks for your question. Send me more at dennis@rodkin.com.